Thank you for joining me today. My name is Chris Teal, and I am the co-director of the Institute for Creative Music. And with this series, we are, of course, digging into a lot of jazz-adjacent songs, but learning them totally by ear, including the songs themselves, breaking them down into their component parts, learning about the form, and getting into the style and the improvisation. So giving you kind of the 360-degree approach to learning these tunes without having to rely on any sort of sheet music or anything like that. So we want to make the jazz the way that it sounds, not the way that it looks. That's something that might come on later once you know what it sounds like. So yeah, feel free to write this down as a way to keep track. But we're going to dig into this by ear. Today, you're joining us a very special time. We're getting into another classic blues melody by the great bassist Oscar Pettiford. And usually I tell you what key this is in. Something to know about this song, I'm not going to give you the key before you listen to the arrangement of it. But it is a riff blues, so this means that it is a melody. There's a lot of repetition, but the melody slightly changes to adapt to the chord structure of a 12-bar blues. And if you know anything about a blues, you might know the directions that some of these melodies might change to accommodate the chord changes. But for now, I'm just going to throw it at us, kind of a blank slate. So listen along and see if you can just initially count the 12-bar phrase, see what sort of repetition you hear and what sort of maybe slight changes you hear in the riff, the melody that is played within the ensemble. All right, let's listen. Okay, so take a second and maybe just fiddle around on your instrument and see if maybe the starting pitch of this melody is actually going to be the root note of the key. And so that's going to give us a good grounding sense. And so if we go back and we listen to that, this recording is pretty in tune. There's some versions of this that aren't so much, but this is the most common key that I've heard it in. If you came up with concert G as your home note, you would be in the right, you would be correct. You would be in the right. So let's go ahead and sing that home pitch of do on concert G. Ready, sing it. Do, do, do. Okay. So that is where our bass line is going to start. That is where our melody is going to start. I'm going to start us with the bass line and just kind of get a sense of this more or less basic jazz blues. I'll talk about some different embellishments, but we're going to go pretty bare bones on this one because we're in the key of G. So not, I don't know, if the easiest keys or the most common keys that blues gets called in would probably be B flat, F, maybe C or E flat. This is in G, so for especially some transposing instruments, this might be a little bit funky, but we're going to dig into this and learn the bass line. Okay, so knowing a 12-bar blues, we might recall that it's 12 bars long, and so at this tempo, we can do the bass line right around where the band, Oscar Pettiford and his group plays it. All right, so that's our quarter note. I'm going to play and sing through the bass line the way, kind of a pretty basic way, and then I'm going to have you do it along with me. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Do, 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 Okay, so that's our home note. In the case of this, we're just going to stay there for 4 bars. You could very well, even on the head, go to the 4 chord in bar number 2. And so if that's where you like to go when you're soloing over this, feel free. For now, we're just going to go ahead and try to play the first 4 bars just on our G major 7 chord. So it's major blues, all the chords are dominant. You can embellish however you like. For right now, we're going with kind of the most basic structural jazz blues in the key of G major. All right, so bass line, 4 bars of G. See if you can sing it, and then we're going to play it at this tempo, kind of medium tempo. 1, a 2, a sing on G. Do, 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 do. All right, play it, just 4 bars of G. 2, ready, and go. Do, 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 do. Coming up next, we definitely want to go to the 4 chord, C7 chord. So for 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, to the back, 2, do, do. Again, this very basic structure, bar number 5, we go to the 1, 2, 3, 4 chord for 2 bars, then back to 1 for 2 bars. Let's sing and then play through bars 5 through 8. All right. 1, 2, sing on C, go. Do, 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 do. Play it. 1, 2, a scale degree 4. Do, do, do. Okay, from here we're going to get into a little bit more of an embellished turnaround. Instead of just going to like the 5 chord, move 5, then back to 1. We're going to do a 2, 5, 1, 1. All right, so scale degree 2 in the key of G major. It's an A minor 7 chord, then it goes to a D7 chord, then back to a G. So I'm going to sing through the final 4 bars, the turnaround. 2, 5, 1. All right, here's me. 2, 1, 2, sing. 2, 5, 1, 1. Sing it. 2, ready, and go. 2, 5, 1, 1. Playing it. So it's concert. A to D to G, and all the chords, at least the tonality of them, are going to be diatonic within the keys. That means we're going to have an A minor 7 chord to a D7 chord, and then back to our G7. All right, so play this bass line, the turnaround, the final 4 bars. 1, 2, A, ready, go. Okay, so let's put this all together. If you want to sing through and then play it the second time, that's great. We're going to go 2 times total, and here we go. Bass line to Blues in the Closet. 2 times through, see if you can sing it the first time, play it the second time. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, here we go. Get ready to play. Okay, all right, so again, in bar number 2, if you want to, you can play the 4 chord, but for now, we're just providing a pretty basic rendition of this in order to get into maybe a somewhat unique key of G major. But again, the blues is something where we want to really be aware of, the real basic arrangements and then ways that we can embellish the chord changes. Same way that we go through when we're learning, to embellish, or when we're learning to take the melody of a song and embellish it in order to have something that's unique in terms of an improvisation or our own personal take on the melody. So we want to have that same sort of awareness of the basic root melody and chord structure first.